Namaste and hello and happy World Salamander Day. Welcome to the Save the Frogs South Asia Meetup. Special focus on the Himalayan salamanders today. And we have several speakers. Just to let you know, these meetups, South Asia meetups, take place on the last Saturday of every month. They've been going on for, I don't know, a year or two, probably a couple of years every month. And we've got variety of speakers from all around South Asia. So come and join us next month and every month and spread the word and get yourself educated or more educated about amphibians. And I'm going to turn it over to Save the Frogs India President Sarbani Nag. And she is going to introduce the speakers, and she will speak also about Himalayan salamanders. Sarbani, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well.
Excellent.
And our first speaker is Dr. Barkha Subba. So I would like to introduce her to start our first ever inaugural World Salamander Day. Barkha is an old friend of mine. Hi, Barkha, how are you?
Hi. Hello. I'm good. I'm good.
Hi. Yeah. So Barkha Subba is a conservation scientist working on biodiversity conservation and community-led stewardship in Darjeeling Hills of the Eastern Himalayan region, with a particular focus on Himalayan salamander and its wetland habitats. Her work combines field research, habitat restoration, and community engagement to protect critical wetland habitats in Darjeeling Hills. She collaborates with local communities, conservation organizations, tea garden managers, and government agencies to develop practical approaches for species and habitat conservation. Her research and conservation initiatives aim to strengthen long-term stewardship of mountain wetlands by raising awareness about the ecological importance of amphibians in the Himalayan region. So over to you, Barkha now.
Thank you, Sarbani.
We are waiting eagerly.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Salamander's Day. I just celebrated one Salamander's Day in one of my sites, and yeah, I'll share that with you all. And, am I audible? Uh,
Yes, you are.
is my voice clear? Okay, okay. So I'll just start sharing my screen. Get right into it. Um, okay.
I can,
Okay.
yeah, there you go. You're full screen. You're good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Great. Uh, so today, actually, this is an ongoing work, and I'll be sharing my work today on status survey and restoration of Himalayan salamander habitat in Darjeeling. Uh, I, okay, so starting with the name Himalayan salamander, it is also known as crocodile newt, and in Nepali, it is called pani chepara, pani kukur, and gora. Pani chepara is water, chepara is lizard. So water lizard, simple as that. And pani kukur, again water, kukur is dog. So sometimes it makes a sound like a dog. So that's why the local people they named it pani kukur. And gora, it's a bit ambiguous, the origin of the word. So it's a story for another day. And so again, class amphibia like the frogs and the toads, order chordata, tailed amphibians, family Salamandridae, genus Tylototitan, species Himalayanus. And in the IUCN, it is listed as vulnerable. That is, it might go extinct very soon without positive human intervention. And under WPA India Act, Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it's a highly protected species in Schedule 1. So the Himalayan salamander was first described by John Anderson during a British expedition, and his specimen was actually from China. So for a long time, it was a given fact that the salamander found in Darjeeling also belonged to the same species, Verrucosus. And it was till 2015 when Khatiwada et al. Described a new species from the eastern Himalayas, which is Tylototiton himalayanus. And then from this paper, we got to know there was a molecular and morphological evidence that this was not Verrucosus but Himalayanus. And and when we go to the historical studies, Anandal was the first person, again a British scientist, who was the first one to record breeding habitats of the Himalayan salamanders in Darjeeling Hills in 1978, 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. So, so from then on, there has not been any dearth of research and publications on Himalayan salamanders, as you can see on the screen. And till now, also there are lots of publications and lot of research going on on Himalayan salamanders, be it its natural history, ecology, or parasites, and also diet, distribution, etc. So it's just to say that there has been a lot of study on Himalayan salamanders, and this excerpt I have taken from Kuzmin, where he also uh, refers to a study by Dasgupta in 1990. This was again more than 30 years ago, where they have written a small bit about conservation and where they have actually identified the problems the Himalayan salamanders are facing, and what are the recommendations, how the forest department and the NGOs should get together in a coordinated way and then work for the conservation of Himalayan salamanders. So, uh, so when I went, I'm from Darjeeling, and then when I go to these places, the salamander habitats, I see them disappearing every other day. And this conservation on the ground has not happened despite of so many research uh, happening on Himalayan salamanders. So this was one of my big motivation to start my work on Himalayan salamanders. So first I wanted to see what is the status of Himalayan salamander habitat in Darjeeling. And for this, okay, so just let me just tell you about the overall distribution, global distribution of Himalayan salamander before getting into that. The global distribution of Himalayan salamander till now is found in Darjeeling hills in India and a small part of Ilam east of Nepal and in western Bhutan. Again, this is extent of occurrence, not area of occurrence. Actually, the area where they occur is much more smaller than what is shown in the map. And its distribution historically has always been patchy. And coming back to the Darjeeling Hills study, so Nag and Vasudevan, the last habitat study, distribution study in Darjeeling of the Himalayan salamanders was done in 2014 by Nag and Vasudevan. And as you can see, this was my baseline for the current study. And as you can see in the map, there are these 6 clusters depending on the proximity of the habitat, and it's very useful to work with. They have a buffer of 1.5 kilometers, around 1.5 kilometers for each habitat. So they divided it into 6 clusters, for example, Mirik, Pokrabung, Majidura, Sonada, and each habitat has some 7, 8, or 9, 10 habitats like that. And all in all, they found 38 positive breeding habitats within the Darjeeling region. And the major threats they listed was habitat degradation, water pollution, and habitat loss. So during my study, I also again went back to these areas. 2014 did it, and then 2025 I did my study. And there I found 25 out of 38, I found 25 positive breeding habitats within those clusters. And the key threats remain the same: habitat degradation, water pollution, and habitat loss. So Uh, oh, okay, the matrix is gone, but yeah. So I also made a small matrix of the threat that was happening, and in that matrix I had shown. Sorry, just the slide went somewhere, but okay. In that matrix I had shown for each cluster what are the biggest threats. For example, unregulated tourism, invasive species, and how much the community is involved in protecting, and how much the community actually knows about the Himalayan salamander if they are willing to protect the Himalayan salamander. So that kind of metrics was done. I'll share with you later. Yeah. So, uh, and I would also like to share with you a few pictures of how this habitat disappeared, uh, sometimes rapidly, sometimes over 10 years, 20 years. So this is a very famous example. Jorpokhri. Jorpokhri is one of the tourist sites. I will show how the Jorpokhri looks like today. This is Jorpokhri in 1990, a major, very significant habitat for the Himalayan salamander. And this was a natural wetland, as you can see. And this concretization started through the tourist department and um, through the uh, through the people in higher political uh, status that time, and also a lot of political disturbance was going on at that time. So actually, this was the first salamander sanctuary. It is still listed as sanctuary, but again, the tourist department took over the sanctuary and concretized the land in 1993-94, and this is how it looks like with all the beautification and introduction of swans, beautiful swans and carps and colorful carps and all these structures. So this is what has happened in less than 2-3 years. So uh, okay, this is one example
আমি
of
একদম
how.
খারাপ কি এটা? তখনই আমি যখনই কিছু খারাপ হয় হারিয়ে যায় আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করে সব।
Could you please
Somebody.
hello? Could you please anyone who is unmuted? Could you please?
Okay, all right. So I'll go on. So this is one example of how concretization and habitat destruction has taken place. And here, because the salamanders are highly phylopatric, that is, they come to the same place again and again where they were born to breed and to lay eggs. So you can imagine how disappearance of one habitat means destruction of, like, disappearance of the whole future generation of Himalayan salamanders. Here, because there is a water body, sometimes you will find some salamanders, few salamanders, 1-2 salamanders coming back here till now also. But then they either get eaten up or they just die off. So this is Jodhpokri, the first salamander sanctuary in India. And another habitat which is less talked about, but which was a huge habitat, bigger than Jodhpokri, is again Mirik. So this land you can see, this is 1970 Mirik, and it's about 5 acres of 5 hectares of land out here. You can So if you go to Mirik today, you will find this pictures too present with embankments and concretization, and again introduced carp and swans and all this, and a mela affair is going on with boat rides taking place. So this 5 hectares of land has also been completely lost. Second, and this is also one example from Mirik, and this is called Raidhap. So Raidhap was also a very clear, used to be clear lake, pond, and it is about 1 acre. And here the tourism department again decided to come up with some reservoir, and it is a very thick cemented reservoir, concretized. The floors are also concretized, And this was also a major habitat for salamanders, marshland. It was a marshland plus a small lake beside this. I don't have a picture for that, but yes. So this was also completely destroyed. And these are the examples of how concretization and tourism department, because of the intervention of tourism department, we are losing salamander habitat. And this is again from Mirik, another new threat has come up, which is invasive species. This is a weed species, fragmite species, and then it propagates very fast. And the natural native vegetation for salamander habitat is uh, polygonum and bojo. These two species you can see here a little bit, and this is where the eggs are attached, and they also find the larvae will find shelter, and again the salamanders, the adult salamanders also find shelter from the predators in presence of this native uh, native species of vegetation. But now this fragmite species has completely taken over. And the thing about fragmite is they not only take over, but they are very difficult to uproot also. Their roots are rhizomatous. So they are just like network under the ground, and then they soak up the water, and the whole land turns into a very dry land. So this is another threat. And this is again unregulated tourism. This is in Majidura, one of the important sites, and this is actually a protected area under the forest department, under Darjeeling Forest Department. So this is what was happening. There was rampant tourism. People were taking pictures, photo shoots, and pre-wedding shoots, and so this was not only in the dry season, but this was also going on during the monsoon season. And during monsoon, salamanders will be here, and also the leeches are here. And to get rid of the leeches, what people were doing, they were buying lots of 1 kg, 5 kgs of salt, and then spraying it everywhere because they have to be there for the shoot for 5 hours, 6 hours. So that was how these microhabitats were also being destroyed for the salamanders. So this was recent in 2025. So before going to the next slide, I'll just tell you about a small thing. This, as you can see, this is surrounded by pines, and then these are small microhabitats for the salamanders, which is actually, these are small wetlands here. There are bigger ones also. So because this area somewhat looks like Pahalgam which is in Kashmir, which is very famous for an unfortunate incident in April 2025 where a lot of shootings and killings happened. So this place unfortunately started being called mini Pahalgam by the vloggers, and that is how it got famous, and more people started to come, sometimes 500 in a day. So I'll just show you a small clip of the Instagram. Okay. So, so I've told you about all the problems, and then my work actually with this project was only to see where are the habitats and how the previous habitats are doing in terms of health of the wetlands and how many salamanders are there. So that is where my project could have ended. But looking at all this, I'm seeing how fast the habitats were disappearing and the number of salamanders were going down. And thinking that I could do something about it, I just could not stay on the sidelines. And so I thought research is important. is very important, but action on the ground became necessary. This is there, but the question was like, what can be done and how? Where do we start? So I thought maybe we will start with mini Pahalgam. And here we were looking at securing the critical breeding grounds for the salamanders, and there were a lot of challenges actually, because the salamander 90%, sorry, 90% of the salamander habitat lies outside protected area, and even if it is inside the protected area, like like Majpura you saw, it is surrounded by villages where there are homestays, and then there are tourist taxi drivers whose livelihood is dependent, and then there are the small vendors whose livelihood is again dependent on the tourists coming into these places. So that was there, and our so there was this kind of, how do we balance this thing and also save the habitat on the salamanders? So the question was not how do we stop people, how do we stop the small vendors, how do we stop the taxi drivers or the tourists from coming to this place, but how do we work with people and make this conservation also work? So for this, we did a lot of multi-stakeholder meetings. We called the forest department, and we called the tourist taxi drivers association, and the taxi drivers themselves were also present, the village heads, and there is a small NGO in Madhura called Salamander Initiative Sukhya. So members of that organization, and then over several talks and meetings, sometimes focused, and then sometimes multi, and then sometimes individual. So we were actually uh, we were actually able to convince people that how important this place is, how important the salamander is, and how protected and rare it is, and how if we can work together, then uh, in future it will be more profitable for the villagers to conserve uh, Himalayan salamander than to destroy its habitat. So uh, that kind of meetings were held, and which was very fruitful actually. Uh, at the beginning, we were doubtful that this can happen, we can make it happen, but fortunately, people were listening, and uh, yeah, and also we brought the forest department, the DFOs, the ADFOs, the range officers, forest staff into the ground to see the ground situation, and to actually map out the area. Because sometimes there are so many land under the forest department, they are not aware of some of these problems. So it's very important to bring them to the ground also. So that also was done, and this is very recent. So after all these things happened, there is now this is a temporary thing. There is a no entry in these areas, and and again, I want to stress on the fact that this is not a permanent solution. That you cannot keep people away from, uh, especially when livelihoods are dependent on this tourism business. So you cannot do it permanently, but our first priority was to safeguard the habitat, and then the work is still going on uh, how to mitigate this situation into a fruitful uh, into a fruitful uh, also and also to save the salamanders also, and to also benefit the community. So, so number one, like I said, to secure the habitat was habitat defense and ecological restoration, where this is an ongoing work. We are still working on this, and first is zoning and demarcation. So this whole area has small micro habitats for the salamanders, and so we want to zone it and then demarcate it with the help of the forest department, and also active restoration of the places which has been destroyed by unregulated tourism, like camping and salt, and all these things. So we are working on these things actively. And number two is transitioning to regulated tourism from unregulated tourism. For this, we sat with the forest department and then also the community members, and then came up with this what is happening now and what needs to happen. And this will take some time, but I'm sure that this is possible. So first was infrastructure. What we saw earlier in the pictures and the videos were unrestricted vendor encroachment. They were sitting everywhere, and the tourists were coming, and they didn't even know that this is a protected area and salamanders are found here. So from this to a regulated future for infrastructure, like the shops will be there, but then in designated places, not inside the habitat. So that kind of thing, and also guidance. So before this, there was no signages or any indication that salamanders are found here. So to guide the visitors, to guide the tourists, we'll be putting up signages and all these things in different areas. And also personnel. The So transitioning from low impact awareness based ecotourism to trained and certified local youth. So we have also promised the community that we will train at least six youth from the community, and then they can be hired or employed as nature guides by the tourists. So the tourists will not be allowed without the guide. So that is one of the things that we are planning towards. And the last thing that will complete this is fostering active community stewardship. Yeah. And here we have planned to because when we spoke to people like the homestay owners and even school teachers and tourist taxi drivers, so what they wanted was they were open to listen. They wanted more awareness programs so that they can also tell the tourists this is what it is, how this habitat is so important, how this place is so important. And next is guardianship, like I said, training of the local youth for uh, as nature guides. And alternative livelihoods. In alternative livelihoods, we are looking at empowering some self-help groups of women for production of Himalayan Salamander themed publicity materials, local handicraft, crochet, and all those kind of things. So so that this what it enables is once this is in place and once it starts running, then there is no need for external intervention. Then we can remove ourselves, and then that is our dream, that this should be a self-sustaining system, that community should be able to conserve understand the importance of the place, of the habitat of the Himalayan salamander, and it should be self-sustaining, and it should benefit both the communities and the species. So both thrive, and yeah, that is the ultimate goal for this. Mm. That was one, and the other thing we thought what we could do on ground was rapid restoration of the habitat in Europe, which was again interested by fragmite species, as you can see here. Again, this is a private land owned by RP Gurung. He has a lot of land, and then mostly the landowners nowadays, they want to build something or sell their land, but Mr. R.P. Gurung, he is very sensitive towards conservation of salamanders, because he also worked on NGO in Sikkim. So that means he wants to conserve the salamanders, which is which are on his land, and because this he wanted help with the removal of this invasive species. So this year we removed almost manually. We took labor from the community. We hired some people and then manually removed this fragmite species. But this is not a one-time thing. We will again have to go and then do this for many years till there are no fragmites. So this is also ongoing work in milk. And the third thing, this actually was we did on an experimental basis. This was a kind of a crisis situation, which we were also not aware that this will happen. So in Darjeeling, what is happening is, I think in most of the Himalayan region, the rainfall has become erratic over the last decade or so. And because of this erratic rainfall, there are sometimes the ponds they flood, and in particularly in Kursan there are this small ponds in high elevation, and and then this and then this slowly drops down to the to a drainage, and then that drainage is concrete drainage. So this time what happened, when I was in Kasam, we saw lots of this Himalayan salamander larvae on
Hi,
the
Barkha.
yeah, yes.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. So basically we are running out of time. So if you can
Oh,
probably
okay, yeah.
short
This is my second last slide. Sorry. So
Okay,
yes,
okay. Please don't mind.
yeah, no. So this rescue intervention was done, and then this was an experimental thing we did. So with the help of the Custom Division Forest Department and the Biodiversity Park, and this is our first batch of hatched salamander. Uh, so yeah, we can do it next year also. And this is a small work plan for 2026. So just skip fighting. And today we also celebrated World Salamander Day at Majidura, which is almost tourist free now. And yeah, these are some of the awareness things, awareness posters and programs, and also in local language we try to uh, spread this uh, Himalayan salamander, about Himalayan salamanders, and in East Mozo, which is an online forum for Northeast India. So yeah, so I'll leave you with this Michael Sule's laundry list of extinction, where he has listed 18 extinction criteria for a species, and all this the yellow the highlighted ones uh, are the ones which the Himalayan salamander qualifies for, which is not a very encouraging news. So we need to act fast and we need to act now. Thank you. Thank you for taking so much time. Thanks.
Thanks, Barkha. It is such a wonderful work you have done, and all the best for your coming days as well.
Thanks, Subba.
Kerry, you
Thanks.
want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Barkha Subba. That was it. Great work and good to be out there in the community, working with the people. Thank you very much. Let's see, Sarbani, why don't you? I think you are the next speaker, so why don't you come on up here?
Yes.
Can you
So
spotlight
I'm
yourself, or
trying
I'm
to,
not sure. You have a couple. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Sarbani Nag of Save the Frogs India has been working with me since 2019, I believe, helped organize the Save the Frogs World Summit in Calcutta, and has worked with Himalayan Salamanders, doing research, and has done tons of citizen science and public education in West Bengal. And we're happy to have you here, Sarbani. Thanks for organizing all of these South Asia meetups that take place every month.
Thank you, Kerry. Is my slide visible?
I can't see it yet, but it's probably loading.
Screen sharing is paused.
Maybe unshare and retry. Yeah, meanwhile, Bishal asks for the poster from Barkha. I'd like it too. If you can get me the PDF, I can put it up. What my plan is for all these videos is to get them online, and I can put the PDF on that page, or perhaps even in the Save the Frogs Academy India course. Hey, everybody out there, we have Save the Frogs Academy with about 40 courses. And one of those is all about India. We have a Nepal course. We have various countries that have their own courses, as well as a ton of different topics. So let's see, Sarbani, I can now see your screen. Why don't you hit it in to full screen?
Is it full screen now?
I can see your entire PowerPoint thing, so it's fine. But if you hit the full screen button, that's usually at the bottom right.
I have already hit the full screen button.
Okay, it may just be slow, but whatever it is, it's good enough. So I suggest continue.
So after the wonderful talk of Barkha, who is currently working with the salamanders right now, because salamanders need protection from us, and Barkha is doing the very right thing with talking to and taking actions along with the local stakeholders, forest departments, communities. It's required, very required. So my work started back in 2012, 2013, and I started working with Dr. Karthik and Vasudevan, who is also here present as the audience. And that time I was working with WWI, Wildlife Institute of India. So basically, I started the work in Darjeeling, and that was distribution of breeding habitats, mapping and distribution of breeding habitats. And one of the maps has been shared by Barkha as well for the base of the previous work. So, like everybody knows here, what are the amphibians? And it's a short recap. Amphibians have three orders: Anurans, Chordates, and Sicilians, and more than 9,000 species across the world, amphibian species across the world. And recently from India, a new frog has been discovered by Dr. Guru Raja KV and team. That's Nyctibatrachus kali from central part of Western Ghats. So in India, we have two salamander species. And 41 Sicilian species as per the amphibian world web. And anurans are the amphibians who basically have lack the tails, and salamanders, the tailed amphibians, and Sicilians, they are burrowing, fossorial, and they do not have any limbs. So with this, I'm moving on to my next slide. It's just to recap that Tylototriton genus. It's the one of the oldest genus of salamander, and it was originated in northern Indochina.
Sarbani, we are still seeing your first slide.
And go ahead and try to make it full screen again.
Okay, I'm trying to share.
It's good. All right, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, it's coming. Right. Okay, so just to say again that anurans, they lack tails. They're the frogs and the toads. And chordates, they are the tailed amphibians, and the Sicilians, they are the limbless fossorial amphibians. So with this, I started talking about the Tylototriton genus is one of the oldest genus of fish, and it was originated in northern Indochina Peninsula. It from early to middle Miocene period. So basically, East Asian monsoons and the uplifts of Tibetan plateau promoted the radiation of the genus in southeastern Asia. And eastern Himalayas are the easternmost distribution range of this genus. So this is the Indochina Peninsula. So currently, India has two official salamander species. The upper one is Tylototriton himalayanus. Like Barkha said, that earlier it was Tylototriton verrucosus, both the species, and the current genetic work and molecular work has revealed that India has two species. So far, the upper one is Tylototriton himalayanus, found in West Bengal, Nepal, and Bhutan. And the lower one is Tylototriton zyme. It has been described from Manipur. So, Tylototriton himalayanus, it has a bony ridge, and you can see the color difference on the dorsal side of these two salamanders. And the basic difference of these two species is the geographical isolation. You will not be able to find the Triton Himalayanus in Manipur and Xyming in Darjeeling. That's the basic thing. And the second very basic approach, like if you want to try to fold the forelimb of the salamanders, the Xyming forelimbs are short and they will not be able to uh, overlap or touch each other. So these are the basic differences, and there are other differences as well. So this map was shared by Barkha as well, and during my work, what I did, I took the lat long of every location and then produced a map, and then I found that there are six main clusters in Darjeeling and Karshin region. The clusters are made of the breeding habitats, active breeding habitats of salamanders, with the Polygonum sp and the Bojo. Both these submerged vegetations, the leaves of this vegetation actually used by the salamanders to adhere the egg clutches. So when the larvae are hatched, they directly are dropped inside the water, and the metamorphosis is completed here. So average intercluster distance is 13 kilometers. I found Pokriabong, Mirik, Namthing, Bagora, Machura, and Sonat. These six places had multiple breeding habitats, and the breeding habitats were consisted of ephemeral pools, permanent, temporary, the rivulets, the drainage system, and sometimes, but not the uh, lakes and everything. They are not the proper breeding habitats for the salamanders. For this reason, Jorpokri Salamander Sanctuary, the first ever salamander sanctuary, has lost the salamanders from. Like I surveyed there for 3 to 4 days, and I spent quite a lot of time over there to find only three salamanders back in 2012, and I believe that no salamanders are found there right now. These are the basic things, like lizard-like body. That is why Barkha explained that it's called pani cheparo in Nepali. It's a water lizard. It's not a lizard, but the lizard-like appearance has given its name. It has a blunt oval head with flat sound. Uh, these are the two bony ridges, and the color is dark to light brown dorsally. Two parallel knobs. These are the two parallel knobs of 16 watts. Tail is dorsolaterally compressed, and this tail helps them to swim. They are very good swimmers, but they are sluggish on the land. And another thing I missed. Goro and Pani Kukur also. So Pani Kukur was named because they can make a sound, and this sound we recorded later in and published it in 2019. So, and actually we have documented the fall of the salamander for the first time. Okay, so was it audible? The sound, it's a very feeble sound they make. So they make only the males make this sound during the breeding season, and this is a very low pitched sound. Basically, they make tak sound. It's a very low pitched sound. And these are the male and female cloacal apertures during breeding season. The upper one is the female cloacal aperture, and the lower one is the male cloacal aperture. And as we know that Tylotus triton genus, they show internal fertilization. So basically, the spermatophore is released in the water by the male and the female cloacal aperture that actually takes in the spermatophore and fertilizes the eggs just before laying them in clusters. So, and they start laying eggs after fertilization. This is a salamander egg, and this is a habitat bojo with bojo. These grasses are bojo, and there are polygonum as well. So it's a gelatinous coating, and inside you will be able to see the embryo. And here are the larvae. They have five larval stages. This one is the first larval stage, in which lacks any forelimb or hindlimb. The second larval stage only shows the forelimb, and the later on, the fifth larval stage, like these ones, the fifth larval stage, it shows proper hind limb and forelimb, and it has the plumose gill as well. And here is a miniature salamander, a mini salamander, and that is awaiting to grow and to reproduce. So these are the males. I did another survey. I surveyed the salamander habitats, the reproductive breeding habitats. I surveyed that in the month of May, June, July, this time. And later I did a survey in January, and I found seven permanent water bodies and a couple of permanent water bodies, out of which seven water bodies had overwintering larvae inside. So that time I understood that having water is important for the late breeders. Otherwise, their larvae will die out without water. So it's important to have the permanent water bodies, or if we can actually take into account that providing water into some spaces so that the late breeders larvae can survive. So probably Deepesh, our next speaker, will highlight about the dry season survival rate of salamander. And like Barkha has mentioned, so I'm not diving deeper for this. This is the concretized structure inside the salamander habitat in Miri, and this is the malformed eye because of the wetlands and pools. Actually, they receive all the household water flow and waste materials from household waste and everything. So probably some contamination or something like that is causing this. And since they are sluggish and the breeding habitats are separated by metal roads, motorable roads, so roadkill ones are they are getting roadkills, and that is another threat. So all these threats are anthropogenic. So, I'm not going into this.
Hi, Sarbani. We cannot hear the video. And now you're muted too. Hey, everyone out there, if you ever want audio to come through on any kind of PowerPoint, from my experience, it's probably not ever going to happen. Better to just have it on a separate device like a phone and hit play and hold up your speaker.
Sarbani, you can reshare your screen, and while sharing the screen, there should be an option with the audio, like sharing screen with audio. You have to check that box. So I think that box was unchecked. So that's why audio is not shared.
True. There's two check boxes on the right
Actually,
side when you hit share.
yes, I did that, but these two videos, they do not have any sound. So this has only been recorded to record their courtship behavior, like tail wagging and clockwise rotation during reproduction. So that's what I wanted you to show.
Hey, everyone out there, we've got 20 total minutes maximum right now, and we have one more
Yes,
speaker.
just
So
another slide I want to share. And last, like I also tried to work my limited resources, and I would like to name. And these images were taken back in 2012 when it was not declared as WPA or Schedule 1 species. That time it was Schedule 2 species. So this is a teacher from Mirik School, Ramesh Gadmer, who is tirelessly working with the community and the students to create awareness about the salamanders. And you won't believe that these kids, I had 5 kids, and they guided me to different habitats in Miri, and they had more knowledge back then than me, because they know how where the salamanders are and how they're doing the eggs, the larvae, and everything. They are amazing, and he is doing an amazing work. And later, I took students from Kolkata for internship programs during their exam, and I wanted them to know about the unique species and to spread awareness about that. And this is a student and a teacher that I took to Nakapani Tea Estate back in 2019. So yes, with this I would like to call it a day and now it's time for Dipesh to start his lecture. Dipesh, are you here? Dipesh, are you here?
Namaste, Deepesh. Please unmute yourself and ideally turn on your video. Everyone out there, if you have any questions, chat them in. Sarbani, can you hear me? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Hi,
Hello,
Dipesh.
hi.
Are you here?
Hi. I don't think Deepesh is here, so hey everyone. Until we have a speaker, this is a perfect time to ask questions. And if you want to unmute yourself to ask the question, you can do that if you're not in a loud place.
Hello.
Hi, Gary Krishnan.
Hi.
Hello. Good evening, all. It was a nice session of salamanders. Actually, I'm a Kerala resident of Western Ghats. We don't have any salamanders here in Kerala or Western Ghats. I have a query on. We have different plenty of frogs which will having their peak activity on different times of monsoon. So, what is the best time of breeding or activity that is seen in salamanders?
It's the monsoon season that starts from April. April is not the monsoon, but they start their activity from April and it lasts up to August, early September, and then they go for hibernation. And there are several late breeders which yield these overwintering larvae.
And just to add
I
to
guess
that,
Dipesh
Sarbani,
is here. Yeah,
oh,
please.
okay, just a line to that, because the salamanders are found at an elevation gradient 1100, right, to 25, almost 2500. So you can also
Yes.
see this seasonal variation in this gradient. For example, at 1500, you might see salamanders in early May, but in higher gradients, 2400, say, you will only be able to see them during July, June, like that. So that kind of variation is also there. Yeah, over to the page.
Thank you. Let's get Deepesh Giri up here. You've got two screens going on. Hopefully I got the correct one right here. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi, Dipesh.
Hello.
Hi. Am I audible? Sorry for being
Yes,
late.
you're audible.
Yeah. I request
So,
you to
a
kindly
brief
share the
introduction.
screen, please.
Yes, a
Sarbani.
brief introduction for you. Let me give a brief introduction of you. So, I met Dipesh during my visit to Mirik, and I found that he is very excited about salamanders, and he is a ground level conservation activist who is working tirelessly with about hiring the community and that's why I have invited Dipesh to share the current situation of the place he is staying right. Over to you, Dipesh.
Am I audible? Namaste to all. Very happy World Salamander Day
Namaste.
to all. Myself, Dipesh. I am a resident of Merik, and actually, I'm right now working in a tea garden in the Okai tea estate in Merik, and I've been in this
initiative for the protection of Himalayan Salamanders since 2020, and I started this work with the help of an organization which is a Bangalore-based organization, the Equitable Tourism Option. The name of the organization is Equitable Tourism Option, and keeping in mind that the increasing in tourism in Mirik and Nahapani areas, especially in Nahapani areas, I began this initiative, and I observed that the habitat of Himalayan salamander were becoming unsafe due to the waste and the tourist movement. And continuously, we are working in this initiative. Lots of people from Kolkata, like Sarbani, I know her since 2-3 years, and recently I have met one organization named the Climate Thinker. They are continuously working in Mirik and Darjeeling also. We are working together, and my internet is not working properly. I've lost connection from my laptop. Sarbani,
Yes.
I have a feeling your internet connection is not good enough to share screen, so you may just want to speak about your project.
Dipesh, you can start talking about what you have seen, and I can share a couple of photos of yours that you have shared with me.
And we have 12 total minutes maximum for the presentation and questions. Please keep that in mind.
Can I do
in
that?
Mirik, like Barkha, Subba, like Jorpagri and the Raidab in Mirik, they have all the concretization project has been led to the area, has been destructed, and like the same things happening in the Nahapani also. Maybe in future, it comes under the private land, tea garden land. The leaseholder are planning to have some outlet there, and we are trying to the screen you are seeing. We have found this larva back in 2023 due to the dry season. In the dry season, and we are trying to maintain the water level there continuously, but due to this land comes under the private tea garden land, so we are not able to do so many things without their permission. But still, we are asking the tea garden management to allow us to maintain water level there and make place clean or safe for salamanders. I have shared this image with the Department of Forest in Mirik and Sukia also. We have shared the information about, and we have asked them to come to visit Nahapani and to talk with the manager and the owner of tea garden. But still, there's no action has been seen from the department. All sufficient water during the rainy season, but water dries up in winter. Eggs were found dead like this, and we informed the tea garden management again and again, and the concerned department also about this issue, and requested them to take the immediate action. Immediate action in the area, but no support has received from any department or from the tea garden authorities. Gradually, the members of we have formed the committee there, which is Nahapani Himalayan Salamanders Sanrakshan Samiti, Nahapani Conservation Committee. In 2022, we established a committee, and we started working together in Okaiti and Gopaldara also. Actually, we need to understand the geography of the Nakapani at first. Nakapani, which comes under the Sukya Pokhari block, and the people who resides there comes under the Mirik block. So there's a conflict, two divisions are there, subdivisions are there. So one will not work in another subdivisions. So Mirik subdivision will not do anything for Sukya, and Sukya will not do anything for Mirik. That kind of things has been happened, and we have the committee has take several stakeholders meetings and carried out cleaning activities in the area to provide a safer habitat for salamander. As a result, the surrounding community became somewhat aware, and they were able to share information with the people, the tourist, actually, basically the tourist who comes to visit Nakapani, and local people are a little bit of aware of what the salamander is, why these creatures are important to the ecosystem, and Sarbani, the another pictures I think I have shared with you. Yes, I have found this salamander near the SH12 State Highway 12 road, which is the Risi road actually. The mortality rate is quite higher there, and not only the salamanders but the frogs and toads also. They have, we have found dead so many frogs and the salamander. Uh, Actually, and collaboration since 2025. Last year, the professor of the Assam Royal Global University, she's from Darjeeling, Dr. Upasna Chetri, came to Mirik, and we had a meeting. Then we started planning for awareness camp and cleaning activities there. And again, the climate thinker, they came, and we met the tea garden manager together and requested for the conservation measures. And first, they allowed, they gave permission to for the fencing, natural fencing like bamboo fencing, and maintaining water level. But later they cancelled that project, and the challenges, I guess, water level. If we will not maintain the water level in the dry season, the late breeding larva will die every year like this, and lots of hundreds of larvas we have found it this year also, in the February month, last February, and now the season, it's raining here, and all the ponds and Ahapani ponds and all other wetlands with their sufficient water have stored, and still no response from any authorities uh, for this purpose. It's a open tourist route. There's a heavy movement of tourists in Nakapani, and they came to see the visit the tea garden. And while going to the tea garden, they have to go through the
Dipesh,
Nakapani lake. So there's a heavy movement here,
Dipesh, sorry for interruption. You have
and
3 more
we
minutes.
have short 3 more minutes. Okay, okay. Just a bit. And we have installed some dustbin there, and we are trying to put some banners, board with the information given, and but the tea garden management has not allowed us to do so. This much for today. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dipesh, for being with us. It's not ended as Happy World Salamander Day because these images are disturbing. So, over to you, Kerry, if you want to say. Hi, Kerry.
Self. Hello. Give me 1 second here. Spotlight. Hello. All right. Thank you, Deepesh, Sarbani, Barkha, and everyone who came here to learn about salamanders. Happy World Salamander Day. Put March 28th, 2027 on your calendar, and let's save some salamanders this year and beyond and spread the word. And let's see. 1 month from today, April 28th, is the 18th annual Save the Frogs Day. So set something up in your community. You, having been here, are probably amphibian educated enough to get out there and do something in your community in person and talk to Sarbani, let her know what you're up to. Come on back every last Saturday of the month to these South Asia meetups. And let's see, we do have talks throughout the day starting in about 7 hours or so. So, hey, that's enough time for you to get some sleep and come back. We've got about 2.5 hours of salamander events taking place. Go to worldsalamanderday.org, get the full schedule. Post something up on social media about salamanders today. Tag us at World Salamander Day. Tag Save the Frogs India. Go join the Save the Frogs India WhatsApp group. Join the Save the Frogs Telegram group, brand new. And let's see, savethefrogs.com/telegram. And let's see, I think that's all I have to say. Sarbani, you have any final words for the salamander enthusiasts out there?
Yes,
Yes,
Hari
Hari
has.
has. Hari has asked a question to Barkha. Barkha, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can't see the question.
Okay. Barkha, I have two questions. It's from Hari Krishnan. Is there anything specific that you wanted the taxi drivers to change, and what was the response to your suggestions? Second, what benefits, tourism or economic, do you expect for the local communities from salamander conservation initiatives?
Okay, so for the taxi drivers, actually, when we started talking about not bringing too many tourists, at least for the time being, because it is still unregulated tourism and they're stamping everywhere. So they were quite antagonistic about the proposal. But then we spoke to them, and then it's about a long-term thing, and then we also said we approached a midway saying that this is not a permanent ban, but then we just want to organize it in a very regulated way, and then not only the taxi drivers but also the community members and the community youth will be benefited in the long run, and we'll do it in an organized way. So they were ready because they are also, the taxi drivers are also, most of them are members of the community, and then they have some ownership to their place. So that is what helped actually. Uh, like yeah, so that is there, and benefits. Next question was economic benefits for the community. So uh, uh, like you saw, the vendors were sitting everywhere, and then it's not like a complete ban on their shop. It will be there, but then it will be in a more permanent way. The forest department has proposed to make small shelter permanent just outside the habitat, not inside. So it will be more regulated, and there will be walkways for the tourists and information signages and all these things. So in addition to that, we have also secured a little funding for the SHGs, the self-help groups, women groups, to start off, like I said in the presentation, to make some embroidery T-shirts and salamander themed souvenirs, because the tourists are there. So yeah, so that way it was good. Some like 50% ownership of their place, and then 50% long-term benefit to this short-term problem. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Barkha. Sarbani, you have any final message for the participants before we go?
Yes, I would like to say thanks to everyone for being here and to celebrate the first inaugural World Salamander Day with us. And many of our participants are new today, so probably this session should be an eye opener for them. And with this, they have got a message today, and they have a message to share with their community as well. So it's a big responsibility for all the participants out there. And I would like to share another information that I've shared one paper and two YouTube links to gain more knowledge about the salamanders. And participants, if any one of you want to have a certificate for this session, please join our WhatsApp group and send your name with proper spelling, so that we can prepare the certificates and send it to you over the group. So it will not be mailed, it will be shared on the group. And there will be another session on the last Saturday of next month. So I'm inviting all of you to be there with us to know more about the amphibians, to spread the message. That's all.
All right, thank you very much, Sarbani. All right, everyone out there, it's been fun. Happy World Salamander Day. We will see you soon.
Ma'am.
We don't have any time for questions, but go ahead and put it in the WhatsApp group, put it in the Telegram group.
Yes, please do that.
And come on
Please
back
do.
in a month.
Okay, Mr. K.
All right, bye.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Bye.